Hi, I'm Karen. Today's practice is going to be all about the hips, as in movement in the hips, hinging in the hips. So if you sit all day and they're a bit static, like this, then hopefully some of these movements will just feel really nice and help you throughout the rest of your day. So let's take a moment. So I'm just going to sit not cross-legged, just going to sit kneeling. Sit however you're comfortable. And let's just have a few moments quiet time just to check in at where we're at right now. So by that checking in, sitting tall but not ramrod straight, a feeling of connection with earth through whatever you can feel. So for me it's my shins, my pelvis feels heavy. Maybe you can feel your sit bones. And then you get that feeling from that groundedness, that lightness now coming through, feeling spaciousness up through the spine, up to the head. Might be quite nice just a little scan over your body, finding out where you're at. How are your hips feeling? And then let's take in the rest of us. Do you have a lot of energy? Average amount, a little bit. How are you feeling? How would you like to feel at the end? And just to give the mind that little bit of quiet time, just watching your breath come and go. You can have a tactile sense of the breath, placing a hand on your belly, on your heart space in the chest. And keep the hands in the lap. Just keep coming back to the breath, just for a few moments. I'm going to be quiet for a few moments. Hopefully there's the space in which we sit, consciously aware of ourselves. Let's open the eyes and the face lift. Okay, let's come to lie on our back. We're not going to be on our back for long, but it's quite a nice place to get some feeling flexion into the hips. So I'm going to take the knees out wider than straight into the chest, and then without using the hands, just draw the thighs in towards you. Maybe just take the arms out and just lay them either down by the side, right in cactus, and just rest it. It's like your knees are coming out in a V shape. Just taking a few breaths there. And how does that feel? What do you feel inside your hips? What's your response, your body's response? Does it relax? Do you shake? Okay, and then let's hug. So I'm just wrapping my arms around my shins. You can wrap yours arms around your backs of your thighs and having a little hug. And so your legs may come a bit closer towards you, possibly. And what happens if you just slow the breath down a little bit? Does that make any changes in your hip flexion? Okay. And from here, we are going to hug one knee, keep it towards you, some still to the outside, like the leg has just sort of slid off your rib cage, it's out to the side. And then the other legs, this might feel really nice, just extend it forward, push the heel away, just keep the leg hovering just above the ground. And you're just holding that tension for a moment, pushing away through the heel. And then let it relax completely let go. We're going to do that 2 more times. So draw the knee in towards your chest and then push through the heels like you're gliding the heel just above the surface of the mat. Extend the leg and then we're holding with a really flexed leg and an engaged thigh, and then just completely release and let go. And that one more time. So again, it's like you're scraping the heel just above the surface of the ground. Hold. That might bring some tension, some positive tension, and relax completely. Let's have a comparison of the 2 sides. So stretch out the other leg, just check in. 2 different experiences, same body. And let's do the other side. So bring both legs in. Again, they're a bit wider than hip distance wide. Hold on to one. You know where we're going now. So extending through the heel, straightening the leg, holding it just across, just a little bit above the ground with some tension. And release. Okay. You might notice that you breathe out when you release, so that'll be interesting. 2 more, so do this in your own time and then just get a bit breath curious. Notice what happens. So you now know the physical, what we're doing. Now explore the breath. Release. Last one. Extend, contract, engage. Release. I release on a breath out. I'm not sure what you did. Let's rock from side to side with the knees hugged in. And then if you can rock up and down and that feels good, then you just rock up and down, all the way up and down until you come up to sit. Okay. So from sitting, we're going to come to kneeling, and either, oops, she says leaning back, lift your heels up and flatten your feet to bring into your squat that way. We're going to do that a few times. So we're going to rock over the feet, knees are going to come down. Lift your knees and rock back. This, you might just have to stay on tiptoes. So now we're adding some fancy footwork into our hip and knee flexion. And then just go backwards and forwards a few times until you can stay in a squat. Malasana squat pose. Okay, so heels can be down, heels can be raised. And then lean your weight forward. So it's like you're just trying to snuggle yourself in between your legs. Whatever shape you're making is perfect. It doesn't have to be my shape. And then from there, rocking backwards and forwards. And then just noticing what you feel in your hips as you rock forwards and back. Where it feels tense, as in positive tension. Where does that ease off? Great. One more time. Good. And then push through the feet to come all the way up to stand. Maybe have a little bit of a shake out at the top. Okay. So I'm going to have my feet roughly underneath my hips. Movement is going to happen from the hip crease. So this is our hip hinging. First one is very simple. We're going to ask the spine to follow the pelvis. So I'm going to hold on to the pelvis. I'm going to keep my legs straight, but if you're super tight in the backs of the legs, bend your knees at any point and observe, listening. You're going to fold from the hip crease, noticing the position of your spine. Now your spine wants to stay with its curves in, and then when you get to your end range, wherever that is, just spend a couple of breaths there exploring how this feels. And then we're going to ease ourselves back up the same way that we went down. Now, can you feel, take your awareness to the back of your legs, and can you feel the back of your legs working? So it's a lot about sensory awareness, what you can feel in your own body. Do that 2 more times and notice how you experience, what your body feels, if your experience changes. So folding from your hip crease, Maybe observing experiences in the back of the legs still, controlling the descent. Take a few breaths at the end. Notice where your end range is now. Breathe back up. Okay, and then we see what happens on the last one. So I'm going to be quiet. Ease yourself all the way back up. Okay, a little bit of a wiggle around. That's quite a dramatic wiggle around, but it's nice. Now we're going to do the same thing, the exploring, but this time we're going to take a wide leg. Exactly the same as we've just done. 3 times, explore your end range, hold there for a few breaths, breathe yourself back up. So, okay, wide leg. I'm going to turn this out so you can see. Okay, press into your feet. Again, feel free to bend your knees if that works better for you. I do a range of different things. Now, exploring where your range of motion is with a wider leg. Keep the neutral curve in the spine. By that, don't let the back round. Find where your end range is. Breathe. Where can you feel this? Breathe yourself back up. I'm actually going to push a little bit into my feet as I breathe myself back up. Okay, 2 more, nice and slow like that. Keep your awareness on what you can feel. How's your breath? Hold. Is the end range the same? Has it changed a little bit? Breathe yourself back up. And last one. And breathe yourself all the way back up to stand. Fantastic. Shove your feet together and then just see how that feels in your hip creases and your hip joints. Take a breath or 2. So in that movement, the legs have been still and we've been folding over the legs. So now we're going to take it another way. We are going to press down into one foot. And I'm going to keep the pelvis relatively still. I'm going to pull the other leg up. I'm going to take it to higher than if I was sitting, if you can. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to keep my arms out to the side, gaze forwards to help with your balance. Okay, and then just keep hugging. And then just bring it out and in a little bit, out and in. So this is a very active range of motion for the hip. One more time. Oh, hold again. Keep breathing. Standing like nice and straight if you can. Spine, body, vertical. Slow, slow, slow release. Work out your hips. Same the other side. Again, anchor down your foot. My body, hopefully, wasn't leaning forwards or back. And I brought my knee up to as high as I could hold it there without any other body part trying to help me out, if that makes sense. Okay, so we held for a few breaths, also exploring this experience. And I'm looking straight ahead to help with my balance. Okay, and then let's just take the knee out. I'm not overly doing it, just out and in with this hip flexion. Whilst trying to stay balanced and focused. Last one. Okay, then hold it in, take a few more breaths. And slowly release down. Oh, and have a little bit of a massaging out of the hips. Then I like to do a few Utkatasans, a few fierce or chair poses, and I like to do them with different heights. So the first one, we're going to bring the arms up just to as high up as they can go. It doesn't need to be super high, but just forward enough. I felt like just do the arms a few times. Arms coming up and down, because we've not really moved the arms yet. Take the arms behind. Bringing the arms forwards and up. I've got the palms facing in towards each other. And I'm trying to bring the movement into the shoulders. So I'm not going to go super high with the arms. Great. Now, as the arms come forward, I'm going to move my hips back. Just like a half Utkatasana, fierce pose. Okay, now I'm drawing my hips back, drawing my thigh bones back. Feeling sensing the back of the legs like I did when I was doing my forward fold. Okay, and then push through the feet. Maybe let the breath bring you all the way back up again. Let's go down a little bit lower. So I'm going to go down, sit like someone's about to pull my chair out, like when you're at school and that happens. Still drawing my hips back. I have got my knees just above my ankles. Reaching forward with the arms. What can you feel? Can you still feel your feet? Push through the feet, slow, slow, slow. Up, test down, let's go as low as you can go. Let the heels lift if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to let them lift, let them lift. Okay, what do you sense and feel now? If it's super easy, hover. I'm going to hover. Oh my goodness, that's a challenge. How's your breath? What can you feel? Push through the feet slow as you can. Let's come all the way up to stand. Massaging the hip sockets. Okay, we're going to do a hybrid move. So one foot is going to be on the floor. And you're just going to grab your other ankle behind you. Grab your foot or your ankle behind your body. And let me turn to face you because I need to not wobble. So this is hopefully just going to nicely stretch out where we were just working into. So I'll give that stretch sensation. So this is really nice. It's like a reverse Vriksasana, a reverse tree pose. Now this is good. And if you wanted a little bit more, you can reach up through the arm, through the front leg side, the bent leg side, and then you can hinge forwards on that hip to about wherever you can stay balanced and breathe. And it might mean bending your knee a little bit, your standing knee. Let's go for that. And then slow as you can, reversing yourself out of that hinge. So you could have just stayed and enjoyed where you were, you could have hinged, so you have choices, always choices. So again, find the other foot, anchor that down. Grab hold of your foot behind. You know, if this doesn't work, you can do tree pose. I should have said that on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to ease the leg back a little bit, just to get a little bit more stretch sensation into the front of my hip, reaching up through the arm for a bit of balance and stability. Okay, what's this side going to be like? And then again, it's a very slow hinge. Breathe. Ease yourself back up. As slow as you can. Great, let's bring that top arm down. Release the leg. Fantastic. Just stand with your feet a little bit wider than your hips and just make a number 8 figure with your hips so you get a really nice releasing of the tension and the stress on your hip massage. And then to play around with your head, let's reverse that the other way. And just shake everything out. Okay, so we're going to come down to sit. We're just going to come down to lie actually. So if you thought, oh, I wanted to lie down, just coming down into your squat, so you can let boop, pop back. And roll slow on your back. Like to the beginning, hug the knees in. You can keep the arms out to the side. And then after, without using the arms, then you can use the arms. Don't worry if you're unstraightened for using the arms, that's fine. And then hugging, breathing, softening into your hips. Okay, and then we're going to lift the legs up. Give them a good shake out because they've worked so well. Hips have worked so well in this little short, sharp hip practice. And then stretch the legs out. Whew. Relax. If this is not your favourite rest, bend the knees or move into a different position. You don't have long, just close your eyes for a few moments. If you have a bit longer, take a bit longer. How does everything feel? Whatever you've got to do next, enjoy. Thank you for joining with me today.